Hello and welcome. In this video we are discussing about Java server pages HTTP status codes. So we will discuss HTTP status codes in JSP. So the format of the HTTP request and HTTP response messages are similar and will have the structure: an initial status line plus CLR of carriage return plus line feed, that is new line, 0 or more header lines plus CRLF, a blank line, that is a CRLF, and an optional message body like file, query data or query output. For example, a server response header looks like HTTP 1.1 200 OK, content type text/HTML, header to header end, then blank line, doc type HTML, head/head, body/body/HTML. So the status line consists of the HTTP version HTTP/1.1 in the example, and a status code 200 in the example, and a very short message corresponding to the status code OK in the example. So the table lists out HTTP status codes and associated messages that might be returned from the web server. Code, message and description. Code 100, message continue. Description: only a part of the request has been received by the server, but as long as it has not been rejected, the client should continue with the request. Code 101, switching protocols. The server switches protocol. 200, OK, the request is OK. Code 201, created. The request is complete and a new resource is created. 202, accepted. The request is accepted for processing, but the processing is not complete. 203, not authoritative information. 204, no content. 205, reset content. 206, partial content. 300, multiple choices, a link list. The user can select a link and go to that location, maximum 5 address. 301, moved permanently. The requested page has moved to a new URL. 302, found. The requested page has moved temporarily to a new URL. 303, see other. The requested page can be found under a different URL. 304, not modified. 305, use proxy. 306, unused. This code was used in a previous version and it is no longer used, but the code is reserved. 307, temporary redirect. The requested page has moved temporarily to a new URL. 400, bad request. The server did not understand the request. 401, unauthorized. The requested page needs a username and password. 402, payment required. You can not use this code. 403, forbidden. Access is forbidden to the requested page. 404, not found. The server cannot find the requested page. 405, method not allowed. The method specified in the request is not allowed. 406, not acceptable. The server can only generate a response that is not accepted by the client. 407, proxy authentication required. You must authenticate with a proxy server before this request can be served. 408, request timeout. The request took longer than the server was prepared to wait. 409, conflict. The request could not be completed because of a conflict. 410, gone. The requested page is no longer available. 411, length required. The content length is not defined and the server will not accept the request without it. 412, precondition failed. The precondition given in the request evaluated to false by the server. 413, request entity too large. The server will not accept the request because the request entity is too large. 414, request URL too long. The server will not accept the request because the URL is too long, and this occurs when you convert a post request to a get request with a long query information. 415, unsupported media type, and the server will not accept the request because the media type is not supported. 417 exception failed. 500 internal server error. The request was not completed and the server met an unexpected condition. 501 not implemented. The request was not completed and server did not support the functionality required. 502 bad gateway. The request was not completed and the server received an invalid response from the upstream server. 503 service unavailable. The request was not completed and the server is temporarily overloading or down. 504 gateway timeout. The gateway has timed out. 505 HTTP version not supported. The server does not support the HTTP protocol version. Methods to set HTTP status code. The methods can be used to set HTTP status code in your servlet program, and these methods are available with HTTP servlet response object. Public void set status in the status code. This method sets an arbitrary status code, and the set status method takes an int status code as an argument, and if your response includes a special status code and a document, be sure to call set status before actually returning any of the content with the print writer. Public void send redirect string URL. This method generates a 302 response along with a location header giving the URL of the new document. Public void send error int code string message. This method sends a status code, usually 404, along with a short message that is automatically formatted inside an HTML document and sent to the client. HTTP status code example. The example shows a 407 error code sent to the client browser, and after this the browser would show you need authentication message. HTML head title setting HTTP status code /title /head body response.send error 407 need authentication /body /html, and you will receive the output as HTTP status 407 need authentication. Type status report message need authentication. Description: the client must first authenticate itself with the proxy need authentication. Apache Tomcat 5.5.29. So to become more comfortable with HTTP status code, try to set different status codes and the description. So this was a brief discussion on Java server pages. Thanks for watching this video. Bye for now.